guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the variation of the shear stress across the cross section. Okay. In the last lecture, in the previous lecture, we have discussed about we had discussed about the assumptions which we made while deriving the formula for shear stress for the shear stress variation along the cross section. Okay. We made certain assumptions over there, and we have also discussed about what is the importance of the horizontal shear stress across the cross section. Okay. So in today's lecture, we will see how the shear stress is varying across the cross section. Okay, which means is that what is the variation is linear across the cross section? Is it parabolic or is it cubical? Okay, so it is. So we will see in this lecture what will be the variations. What will be the variation of the shear stress distribution for a particular section. Okay. And we'll also solve one problem, and we'll check how the shear stress is varying across this depth across this cross section of the IB. Okay, so let's directly come to the topic. So in this lecture, I'm discussing the simple cross section, which is rectangular cross section. Okay, the cross section dimensions are this: where B is the width of the cross section, H is total depth. Okay, and this is the neutral axis of the B. Okay, this is the neutral axis of the cross section. Neutral axis means where your stresses and strains are zero at this point. Okay, and this is also called this centroidal axis, because the stress distribution and strain distribution we are taking linear. Okay, so this is also known as centroidal axis. Now, what we will do, we need to check the variation across this cross section. Okay, how the shear stress? What is the shape of shear stress diagram basically? So, in the previous lecture, we have derived this formula: tau equals to V into Q over I into B. Okay, this is a very important formula. Okay, so in this, let us suppose we'll define the terms over here. This is my cantilever beam. Okay, and it is having a rectangular cross section. Okay, so a point load is acting at this point B, let us suppose. So I'm taking any cross section at this point. Okay, at this point I'm taking any cross section. Okay, so if I enlarge this portion over here, so this will look like this. It will look like this. So to balance this B force, I will have some B force over here. Okay, and for the equilibrium of this joint, I will have a force at this downward force at this point. Okay, at this downward force at this location. Okay, so for this cross section, my shear force will be in downward direction. This is V. Okay, now V will be constant for the cross section. Q is what is first moment of area. First moment of area means what? If I'm calculating the shear stress at this level, so I need to, this is the first moment of area which I need to consider. Okay, I is the moment of inertia of the moment of inertia which is constant, and B is also constant for this cross section. Okay, so my tau is directly proportional to Q. Okay, this thing I'm getting for this only rectangular cross section. Okay, if B is variable, then tau is directly proportional to, if B, this happens when B is constant. B is constant. Okay, here you can see that for this rectangular cross section, my B is constant across the depth. Okay, if it would have been the triangle section, then the tau will be directly proportional to Q over B. Okay, because the B is varying across the depth, so I need to make for maximum tau, I need to maximize this term. Okay, in the rectangular section, I need to maximize this term, this Q only, which is first moment of area. Okay, first moment of area. So this is the important formula which you need to think on what factors my tau is depending. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll take this cross section over here. This is my neutral axis, right? So at neutral axis, I'm taking at a distance y, I need to find this shear stress distribution. At this level, I need to find this shear stress distribution. And see, what are the shear, what I see, I will see what is the formula for this shear at this level, how my shear stress is varying. Okay, so I already know that at this point, at this end points, I'll have tau equals to 0. Okay, because these are the outer boundary. So at this point, my tau will be 0. At this portion, my tau will be 0. Okay. So if I calculate tau, which is equals to V into Q over I into B. Okay. So this term is constant basically. This term is constant for rectangular cross section. So V into I into my B, I'm taking it as A. Okay. So my tau is equals to A into Q. So from here I can say that tau is directly proportional to Q. Okay. So I need to find Q over here. So Q if I want to find shear stress at this level, I need to take first moment of area of this portion. Okay. So what will be the height of this cross section? What will be the height? Height will be this will be h by 2 from the neutral axis, and this is, let us suppose, the centroid of this portion. Okay, which is, let us suppose, which is y bar. Okay, so my q will be q equals to a into y bar. What is a? Area of this portion. Okay, area of this a b c d portion. Okay, area of a b c d portion, right? So now what I'll do, I'll calculate what will be my y bar. Okay, so my y bar will be, centroid of this area will be, it will be this h by 2, it will be y plus h by 2 minus of y, and it is divided by 1 by 2. Okay, this will be my y bar. Okay, this will be my y bar. What will be this distance? What will be this distance? This is h by 2 minus y divided by 2. Okay, this is this distance only. Okay, and this is y bar. So my y bar, if I solve this, y bar is equals to y plus h by 4 minus of y by 2. So y bar will be what? Y by 2 plus h by 4, right? So this I have calculated the y bar, and area will be what will be the area? Area width is b. So b into and what will be this distance? It will be h by 2 minus of y. So this is h by 2 minus of y, right? So if I take if I take 2 common from the common from here, it will be area equals to 2b into h by 4 minus of y by 2. I can write. Okay. So now my tau will be, tau is directly proportional to what y bar. Tau is directly proportional to a into y bar, which will be, y bar is what, a is 2b into h by 4 minus of y by 2, and my y bar is y by 2 plus h by 4. Okay. So you can also write this thing, tau is directly proportional to 2b into h by 4 whole square minus y by 2 whole square. Okay, now I need to maximize this term. Okay, so if I write d tau by dy, because variable is only b here, y here, so d tau by dy should be equal to 0. Okay, from this equation y is coming out to be 0. Okay, if I differentiate this thing equal and put it equal to 0, y will be coming out to be 0. Okay, again if I differentiate this thing, d tau square upon dy square, it will be again it will be comes out to be negative value. It will some negative value will be there. That means that which shows that at y equal to 0, and which shows that at y equal to 0 my stress will be maximum. Okay, because it is coming negative. The second derivative is coming negative. So at this neutral axis, the shear stress will be maximum. Okay, because y is 0 at this neutral axis. Okay, so if your structure is if in the structure the B is constant like this, the structure is constant, so my shear stress will be maximum at the neutral axis. Okay, so this thing we got from here. Now, so my variation of shear stress will be shear stress variation will be tau is directly proportional to 2b h by 4 whole square y square by 2. Okay, and from this formula you can see that the variation of this is parabolic. This will be a parabolic variation. This will be a parabolic variation. Okay, so at neutral axis, I know my shear stress will be maximum. At these points, my shear stress will be 0. Okay, so this will be my variation of shear. Okay, so this is the variation of my maximum variation of the shear stress distribution, and this is the point of tau max, which is at neutral axis. Okay, and if you want to calculate the value of the what will be the value of tau, we'll simply tau is directly proportional to tau is what we wrote previously, a into this cube. Okay, so tau equals to v into v over I into b. Q is what? 2b h by 4 whole square minus y by 2 whole square. Okay, b cancel, and if I put y equals to 0 over here in this equation, if I put y equals to 0, so I will be getting, if I putting y equals to 0, I will be getting b over I into b into 2 into b into h square over 16. B's b cancel, 2 8. Okay, and again we can write tau equals to v into h square over 8I. Okay, this thing we can write, and I is what basically bh cube by 12. Okay, bh cube by 12. So v into h square over 8 into I will is what, bh cube by 12, bh cube into 12. So this will be 2 by 3. This h cube will be cancelling here, 1h, and this is what v over b 1.5 v over bh. Okay, so tau will be at neutral axis. My tau will be 1.5 times of v over b into h. Okay, but b into h is what my cross section area. Okay, so this is the tau max. So generally, we have seen the formula. What we call is tau average. Tau average we calculate like this: v upon b into h. Okay, so this is basically a tau average, which we are taking uniformly distributed over the cross section. So this is v by bh. Okay, and our tau max is 1.5 times of tau average. Okay. So tau max is, we can write here 1.5 times of tau average. Okay, so this is the way which will derive the variation of the shear stress distribution of the cross section. Okay, now we'll see what is the significance of these arrow which we showed in this direction. Okay. So this is the cantilever beam over here. Okay. And this is the neutral axis. This is the cross-section area of this beam. This is what B and this is what H. Okay, and this is the neutral axis. Okay, so I'm showing the variation. I'm showing the variation across this I will show you the variation across this neutral axis. What will be the shear stress at this point, horizontal shear stress at this point, and transverse shear stress at this point, this neutral axis level. Okay. So what I am doing here, I am separating this. I'm cutting this this beam along the longitudinal axis, along the plane which is passing through this neutral axis. Okay. So I will have two portions over here. One portion will look like this. This is the top portion. Okay. And this is, I just make the enlarged view. Okay. If I join this thing, it will be at neutral axis level. I'm showing how is the variation of the shear stress is there. Okay. So this is again. Okay. So at neutral axis level, due to this shear force B, which is acting in downward direction, I will have a shear force in downward direction. Okay, the vertical transverse shear force will be in downward direction. So at this section, I'm drawing the shear force like this. This vertical shear force at neutral axis level will be like this. And remember, this is a maximum. This will be maximum. Okay, this shear stress will be maximum. Okay. Now, complementary of this vertical transverse shear will result into the longitudinal stress. Will be complementary shear stress, also known as the horizontal shear stress, will also be there. Okay, so my horizontal shear stress will look like this. Okay, it is basically acting in this plane. If I'm talking about, if this is the cross section, if here at this neutral axis level, the vertical shear stress will be in this direction. Okay, in this direction. So complementary horizontal shear stress will be in this direction, right? So this is what I'm meaning by that. I'm meaning by this thing. If I'm holding this is a cross section. So my if the vertical shear stress is acting at this point, so the complementary stress will be generating at this point. Okay, will be this plane or for this plane. Okay, the plane which is perpendicular to this plane. So this is the horizontal shear stress. Okay, similarly, at this portion, the vertical shear stress will look like this. The magnitude will be same, and the horizontal shear stress will look like this. Okay, so this is what the distribution of the horizontal shear stress across the beam. Okay, and remember one thing, last time we have assumed that condition that it's as per this formula, tau equals to V into Q over IB. The shear stress I'm assuming is that constant across the bit, but that is not a true case. Okay, that depends upon the B by H value. Okay, which we have discussed in detail. Okay, actually by this formula, I'm seeing that the shear stress distribution is constant over here. Okay, but in actual case, what will be there? At this point, it will be maximum, then little bit lower, then little bit lower, then little bit lower. And at this end also it is maximum same. So the distribution will actually look like this. Okay. But it depends upon the B by H value, means how much variation will be there with respect to this formula. Okay. Which we have discussed. Similarly goes for here also. Here also the actual variation will look like this. Shear stress variation will look like this at this neutral axis level. Okay. But through this formula we are calculating the average value. So this is the thing which I want to show over here. It means how the shear stress are coming into the picture. Okay, what is the transverse shear? What is transverse shear stress? What is longitudinal shear stress? We have discussed over here. Okay, so I hope this problem is clear to you. in rectangular cross section. In later lectures, we will see how this thing will be there in circular cross section or different cross section. Okay. Now we'll come to this problem. We'll come to this problem and we'll see what is the variation of the shear stress across this cross section. Okay. So guys, I need to calculate the shear stress distribution for this IB. Okay. The point which I will be calculating the shear stress are the point at this point, this B point, okay, and this point just below just above this junction and just below this junction, okay, and at this center point, okay. This section is symmetrical, so if I calculate the response for this above portion, it will be symmetrical to below portion. It will be same for the below portion, okay, but while using the concept of symmetry, okay. So what I will do, first I will write the formula over here, okay, which is equal to tau equals to V into I over, V into Q over I into B, okay. Now my shear stress distribution will be maximum at the neutral axis, that I know, because if I consider this as a complete rectangular, like 300 by 300 by 240, 300 by 240, okay, it's what will be there, its shear stress will be maximum at neutral axis, okay. Now if I consider this cross section only, this cross section, which is what which is this cross section, okay, its shear stress will also be maximum at this location only. So neutral axis level, and the neutral axis will be same for this cross section, okay. So my shear stress will be maximum at this point, which is known as neutral axis, okay. So now what I need to calculate over here at this portion, at this B portion, my shear stress will be 0. Shear stress will be 0. Okay, at this top portion. First I will calculate the I, which is a first basic thing, because if you calculate I, you will get some marks. Okay, if this question is of 10 marks, then you will get at least 1.5 or 2 marks over here. So first you need to calculate the I. Okay, if you don't know anything, just calculate the I. Okay, so I will calculate the I. So first I will calculate this as a complete portion. Okay. So this it will be equal to 300 into this distance is what, 240 cube over 12. Okay. Then I'll minus this portion. Okay, because this is not there, na? And this length is 300 minus of 15. 300 minus of 15 divided by 2. So 300 minus 15. So this length is 142.5 and this depth is 200. Okay. So we have two cross section like this over here. So I will multiplying by 2 into 142.5 into 200 cube over 12. Okay. This is the formula for calculating the moment of inertia. So what is the value? 200 into 240 . So the value is I is coming out to be 1.556 into 10 की power 8 mm4. Okay. So this is the value of I. Okay. Shear force is V, which is 80 kilonewton. Okay. I'm assuming it is downward direction for this cross section. Okay. Now I need to calculate B I know, and Q I need to calculate. Okay. So first I'm calculating the shear stress for this point number 1, which is just above the junction. Okay. Point number 1. So shear stress at point 1, just above the junction. Okay. So if I am calculating the shear stress just above the junction over here, what will be my Q? What will be the Q? Okay. So Q will be for this area, first moment of area of this portion. Okay, of this junction. So Q is what? A into Y bar. Okay. And what will be the Y bar for this for this portion? Y bar will be equal. Y bar is 100 plus 20 divided by 2. Okay. So this will be 110 mm. And area is what? 300 into 20. Okay. So tau will be 80 into kilonewton. I am converting into Newton. Area is what? 300 into 20, and Y bar is 110. And what is the I? 1.556 into 10 to the power 8. And B at this portion just of the junction, the B is what? 300. Okay. So the value which comes out from this formula, this thing is so it is coming out to be 1.131 Newton per mm square. Okay, this I calculated at point 1, just above the junction. Okay, so I'll write over here tau 1 is 1.131 Newton per mm square for point 1. Now I need to calculate tau 2. Okay, this for the point 2 which is just below the junction. Okay, now I need to calculate tau 2. Okay, so to calculate the tau, this I will be same, this width will change, and this area and this Q will change. Okay, this Q will change. So for this area will be also be same. Area will be only B will change over here. Area will be what? Area is what we have calculated over here. 300 into 20 into 110. B is what? 300. B will be 15 mm. Okay, because just below the junction my B is changes. The area of cross section suddenly changes. Okay, so what will be the value? 131 into 300 by 50. So the value is coming out to be 22.62. Okay, 22.62 Newton per mm square. Okay, so tau 2 will be 22.62 Newton per mm square. Now you can see that what is the effect of width. Just you changes the width and how the tau shear stress is jumping from this position to this, from this value to this value. Okay, now again I need to calculate tau at this neutral axis level because my tau will be max at this point only. Okay, for this point my area will change and my width will remain same, that is 15 mm. Okay, so I need to calculate now my area which I will consider will be this complete area. Okay, so what I need to first calculate, I need to calculate what will be the area for this complete figure. Area will be 30 into 300 into 20. Okay, plus this 100 into 15. Okay, this portion is 100. Okay, so 300 into it is coming out to be 7500 mm square. Okay, now I need to calculate what will be the Y bar for this portion. Okay, what will be the Y bar for this portion? So Y bar will be equals to A1 into Y1 bar plus A2 into Y2 bar upon में what A1 plus A2. Okay, this you will find how to calculate the centroid of the figure, centroid of the cross section. Okay, so my first area will be 300 into 300 into 20 into, for this portion what will be my y bar? Y bar will be what? 100 plus 10, meaning 110, plus what is the A2? A2 will be A2 is what? 100 into 15, and what will be the y bar? This is my 100 and this y bar will be center of this, so it will be 50. Okay, so it is 50 mm. And what is the total area which we have calculated is 7,500. So this is my y bar. So it comes out to be 98. Okay, so y bar is coming out to be 98 mm. Okay, so now q will be, q is what? A into y bar, which is equal to 7,500 into y bar is what? 98. Okay, and unit will be mm cube. So this is not the volume. Okay, this is first unit of area. Don't confuse with that. Okay, so now I'll keep this value in this formula. This is done. This is 700 into 90. So if I calculate tau, tau is coming out to be 25.2 Newton per mm square. So you can see that at neutral axis level, that is tau 3 shear stress will be 25.19 Newton per mm square. Okay, now we will see how this is acting on the beam, because that is the important part. What is the direction of the horizontal shear stress? What will be the direction of the vertical shear stress? That is an important part to understand. This is basically the calculation part. Now we'll see how this shear stress is acting on the beam. Okay, on this beam cross section. So if this is the beam, okay, if this is the beam and this is the cross-sectional view of the beam, and this is the side view of the beam. Okay, so what happened is that we have calculated the we know that tau at this point will be 0. Tau at this point will be 0. Okay, and at this point and this point it is, and this point the variation is at this point the value is this point at this point the value is tau is 1.131. Okay, and this point also the value is 22.62. Okay, and the neutral axis level the value is 25.19 Newton per mm square. Okay, so at this point, this level, the shear stress will look like this. The vertical shear stress will look like this. Okay, And the variation, and this is the variation. This is the constant variation which I am assuming. Okay, but actually it is not. Okay, and this level also, at this level also, this level also, the shear stress will be in downward direction. This is vertical shear stress value. Okay, at this level, this magnitude will be less as compared to this. Okay, and at this point, tau equals to 1.31, the shear stress will be of very less amount. Okay. Now you can see that, now if I look into this formula, in actual condition, at this point, shear stress should be 0. Why 0? Because this is the outer boundary. Okay, there won't be any horizontal shear stress for this portion like this. If this is the figure, if this is the figure of this flange. Okay, I'm drawing. If this is the figure of this flange. This is this flange portion. So at the end, if I see in this figure, at the end portion, at the end portion, I'm not getting any. I won't be getting any horizontal shear stress because this is an outer boundary. Okay, so the complement of the vertical shear stress should be also be 0 at this point. But from this formula, we are not getting this value. V equals to V into Q over I into V. I'm not getting this 0 value. So it is not predicting the exact boundary condition at this point. Okay, so this is the drawback of this formula. Okay, so this is the variation of the cross section at this cross section area. Okay, and now we'll see the variation along the elevation. Okay, along the side view. Now see the variation along the side view. So what happening is that this is the distribution along this cross section. So if we see as per the side view, the shear stress distribution will look like this. Okay, the vertical shear will distribute like this. Okay, its value will reduce. Okay, so I know that we already derived the parabolic variation for this thing. Okay, so this thing sudden increase in the shear stress will look like this. The neutral axis level it will be maximum. And the symmetrical figure. The symmetrical figure will look like this. Okay, so you can see that the tau max is coming maximum at the neutral axis. Okay, and one more thing we can say that the most of the vertical shear is taken care of by the web portion. Okay, so this is the web portion. Okay, so most of the shear we have studied one statement mostly that most of the shear is taken care of by the web. Okay, so here you can see that the web is taking the most of the shear. Okay, so generally we have seen one formula, V equals to tau average equals to V over area of web. Okay, so V is what? V which we have calculated over here is 880 into 1000 kilonewton. And divide by area of web. Area of web is what? 200 into 15. If I calculate this thing, okay, if I calculate this thing, it will be it is 26.667. Okay. So this is the case. This is generally in the engineers generally take this value over here. Okay. So we have seen in this problem we have seen that how the vertical shear is carried out by the most carried out by the web. Most of the vertical shear is taken care by web. Okay. And one more thing I would like to tell that at these junction points which we have previously studied, that the junction point, the reliability of this formula is reduced because there is sudden change in cross section, so stress concentration may occur. Okay, so this results won't be true. Okay, but at this point, and the variation along this flange is also as per the assumption, it is also not correct. Where it won't be giving actual result, because here for this flange portion B by H is very large. Okay, so this variation which we have assumed constant is actually not constant. There may be 30-40% variation is there in the stress at this flange portion. Okay, but the point of consideration is of neutral axis. So at neutral axis, you can see that width upon the height ratio is large. B by H ratio is large. So variation, the variation which we have assumed, the cross section, this is the actual variation. So at the neutral axis level, my B by H ratio is very less. So I can, so this formula will hold my results. Okay, and in generally problems we'll consider this thing only. Okay, this tau average is this thing V over my area of web. Okay, so at this portion there won't be much effect of B by H because B by H ratio is very less, but this portion B by H ratio is large. So this thing also, you can see, this thing we have already discussed in detail in the previous lectures. Okay, so I hope guys I have I want to clear some point in this. So if you have any doubt regarding this, you can write in the comment section. If you didn't understand anything, I'll try my best to rectify those things. Okay, so thank you very much guys. Okay, we'll see you in the next lecture.